what was something missing, and we knew that the litter box was a pain point, and that pain point was cat litter itself. Was the
Okay.
best thing we had was this reusable clay, but you're still storing the waste in your home, and you're still having to it's kind of like we went from it's still like a chamber pot for animals and
Right.
for cats in your home. You're storing it, you're taking it out. What do I do with it? It's a process. So we realized that was the part that was the biggest problem was actually the litter itself.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of All the Smart Things and IoT for All video series that we created to kind of shed light on the creation and behind the scenes look at consumer facing IoT products. On today's episode, we have Steven Yampolsky, the president of PetNovations. They are a really interesting company that's been in business for over 15 years, developing a cat waste management system that can be self-cleaning, self-flushing, and eliminate the need for earth unfriendly litter altogether. Very interesting product. I do not own a cat, but we have members of our team who do, and we actually were able to use this product and talk and test it out ourselves. It's super fascinating on the way it works. Something I recommend any of you out there who maybe own cats and are tired of kind of emptying the litter box themselves, who are tired of kind of the smell, tired of the kind of the waste that current litter does create, and looking for maybe a more economic friendly way to do things when it comes to cats going to the bathroom. So very interesting. We dive a lot into kind of the behind the scenes of this product, how it was created, the challenges that were a part of creating it, how they brought it to market, a lot of stuff that I think is very relevant to even the enterprise and commercial side of things, just bringing something to market and the journey that it takes to do that. So I think you'll get a lot of value out of this. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. And we really appreciate it. It helps others find this kind of content that I know you'll find a lot of value in. So without further ado, please enjoy this episode of All the Smart Things. Welcome, Steven. Thanks for taking some time to chat with me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's very been looking forward to this conversation for a while, ever since we had our first experience with your products. And I wanted to start off by just having you quickly introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit more about your company.
Okay. My name is Steven Yampolsky. I'm the president of PetNovations, Inc. We are a high-tech pet product manufacturer that has been working on reinventing the litter box and what people think of litter boxes, as well as some other secret private products I can't tell you about. Again, also changing the way people do something that they've been doing for a long time, disruptive technologies.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me a little bit about, we used to have a cat when I was younger, haven't had one for a while, but know a lot of friends who do. Tell us, and maybe for the people out there who do not have cats, the kind of existing experience people had with litter boxes before your product was in the market, and kind of what prompted the development of the CatGenie AI.
Well, this is one of these things where not a lot of people know, but in the world of cat litter, everyone knows the gentleman by the name of Ed Lowe. Up until that point, people were using whatever they could find, dirt outside in their yard, and then he found out that sodium bentonite could be used for cat litter, and it changed the way people kept cats. It was revolutionary at the time because you had, now people pretty much always about, clay, some kind of clay cat litter in their house, and they've been purchasing it in the billions of pounds.
Right.
And that's been it. And it was the last revolution, was the ability to have something that could either, highly absorbent material and could maybe mask some of those odors.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really changed for many, many years. You had a few automatic cat boxes come in, but it's just, a little bit better mousetrap.
Sure.
Where you're scooping the litter for you instead of you doing it. But ultimately, it's a daily process. You're storing waste in your home, and you continually go through this circle of, it fills up and you have to empty it, and the cat waste in your home. We thought that was something, when, we approached it from a business perspective initially, mm-hmm. which is, the pet industry, this was 20, 25 years ago. Pet industry is a very popular business, very lucrative, and people are very loyal, and they keep pets for many, many, many years, better than babies. So, what was something missing, and we knew that the litter box was a pain point, and that pain point was cat litter itself. Was the
Okay.
best thing we had was this reusable um, clay, but you're still storing the waste in your home, and you're still
Mm.
having to, like, it's kind of like we went from, it's still like a chamber pot, for animals and
Right.
for cats in your home. You're storing it, you're taking it out. What do I do with it? It's a process. So we realized that was the part that was the biggest problem was actually the litter itself.
Mm.
And so, we went through kind of an idea of, well, what could we do instead of litter? And the idea is, what about something that's reusable cat litter? Well, if we're going to have reusable cat litter, you have to be able to clean it. And to clean it, you need a machine to clean it.
Right.
Because you're not going to have people do it. You're not going to, that defeats the purpose of it. So that was kind of the nexus of the idea, is that, and this is the 21st century, and why not have a 21st century solution to something that is, cats are, very beloved, and just like dogs, you have people on both fences, and you have very passionate pet owners. And they're basically, you talk to dog people, they'll be like, "Oh, I would never have a cat. They, poop and pee in
Right.
my house."
Right. Right.
It's a bone of contention even in that
Sure.
arena. So, having something that says, yeah, but not only does it poop and pee in the house, it also flushes it out, washes and cleans, just like I do for me. So I have a waste solution that, eliminates that problem, and it's fantastic. And, to make it a smart machine,
Mm-hmm.
to answer your question, since we're on an IoT platform, is
Yep.
that a product like ours also can become more efficient,
Sure.
and if it can, and since it is washing and doing this process, it also, brings in ways that, it gets dirty, you need to
Yep.
clean
Yep.
it, all
Yep.
of these different kinds of things that you still need to do, which, by the way, you have in a litter box too, but it's just a little bit different in a machine.
Right. Right.
And if the machine can monitor itself, it can do a better job of, because we had a dumb machine for a long time, and a dumb machine just creates an error or a warning, and people don't see it.
Gotcha.
A smart machine can have sensors in it that monitor itself and actually use machine learning to improve over time and get better and smarter and give more information, so that we can actually improve the actual machine after you purchased it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that's huge. That is something that's hard to talk about, because people are like, wow, a smart litter box, a machine learning AI.
Yeah. Right.
It's, it seems like, like something you would see in, a futuristic movie.
Right. Right. Right.
But in reality, it's becoming mainstream, using machine learning and such, and smart sensors is going to be in every single product that you make. It's out there now in the silliest things that you can imagine, but they're not that silly, because it's not that expensive, and the ability to improve the function from afar, always not have a machine that's stuck in its software from 5 years ago, that you now have, learn some things about that you could tweak to make better, is crazy not to have it. And a machine like ours that does everything that it does, the more we can make it efficient, the more we can alert people that maybe they should clean it before there's a problem, the better that experience is. And it's taken us a while. We've had it out for a little while now, but I would say that, it's taken about a year and a half to get enough data to really get some, for certain things is right away you could see, but for some more deeper technology that we can apply to our machine, to improve some of the stuff I just mentioned. It's taken, months and months and months of getting lots and lots of data and analyzing that data and learning a lot of different things, including certain things that we wish, we've improved certain hardware because of it. Because you're like, what, this hardware just isn't as efficient as it should be, because we can see the monitoring of it. It's not that it's breaking, it's just not as the data is not as good. It's not as we want it more fine-tuned data, and it's sometimes sensitive to certain things. And so, but again, with machine learning and us analyzing that data, we can see the noise and filter it out.
Right. So tell me about so you've kind of alluded to a lot of the features in the product, but for somebody who, like, in a very simple way, it sounds like this is a more evolved cat litter box that allows you to take a lot of the heavy lifting off of the owner, and also the cost away from having to replace the litter every time that you clean it out. So it cleans the litter, it kind of in a sense recycles it. It also flushes out the waste through your through your
Sewer.
own sewer line. Yep, exactly. And tell me a little bit about the process for creating this, because you talked a lot about data here, and the data that you're collecting, the things that you're learning. What have been some of the biggest learnings throughout the development of this smart product for you all?
That's a good question. I think the biggest learning is some of it. I mean, some of it's not necessarily in the technology per se.
Okay.
Some of the biggest learning is we see how people use it. We see the way they use it. And in the past, we guessed, because we had a machine that wasn't smart. And when you can see the way that people use it and the way that they are, when I say the way, meaning do they have it on a timer? Do they have it on cat activation? Do they use a dome or not? Which is a cover. And we know when any of that's happening.
Okay.
And I always knew we sold a lot of domes, and I knew that was there, but I didn't realize to the degree that's it's like in the high, like 75-80% of people have a dome.
Wow.
And if you would have asked me pre that, I could look at data, but we also know that people buy domes and they find out their cat doesn't like a covered litter box. They like the way the CatGenie looks with it because it looks really nice, but then they realize their cat doesn't like it. So, and that's okay, but to have that option is great. Not all litter boxes have that option. Some it's covered or it's not, or they don't have a choice. You can't take the cover off.
Right.
So I was surprised that it was so high, because we can now see what's actually active with it. And then the other part is that we always thought people were using it more cat activated. We knew that was the way to run it. But we were really happy to see that it was also around that 75-80% of people run it on cat activation, which is the smartest way to do it.
And what does that mean exactly with cat activated?
You have three choices. You can run it manually, literally just you push a button, or you start it in the app. You can run it on a timer, or literally like a timer. You can set it to run at certain, a specific time of day, up to 8 times a day. You can program it to run all that time. Also, you can have it sleep and if you don't want it, if it's in your bedroom or it's in the hallway and it's indoors, you can say, what, from midnight to 6 a.m., don't run. And you can do that, or you can, and you can just let it run cat activated.
Right.
Whenever the cat uses it, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, whatever you choose, it'll clean. And you can also set it to sleep. So, there's a lot of those options, and I was surprised to see how many just chose cat activation 24/7.
Now, let me ask you. So we have a member of our team who has one of these, and they've installed it and been using it for a number of months now and loves it. It's absolutely fantastic. She has 2 cats and thinks it's great. One of the things I wanted to ask, and she was actually curious about, for anything that you are able to divulge, you don't give any secrets here, but what does the future of this product look like? And are you able to ever get it to a point where you can find out something is wrong with the cat, or monitor what either it's patterns, it's you name it, to figure out if there's something maybe off that the owner wouldn't maybe otherwise not be aware of because of because of using litter boxes in the past? There's no smart, it's not connected to any kind of technology or any way to analyze stuff. How do you kind of see that playing in, and as well as just kind of what does the future for this product sort of look like?
Well, yeah, actually, I can answer that, because it's a very sophisticated system to be able to analyze waste. Even there's a litter out there that will change colors based upon certain aspects. But while that works okay, and when I say okay, it's a good thing. It's not bad. It's actually functional. But there's a lot of false positives.
Okay.
Meaning, it's great because it gives you a, kind of a little early warning system if your cat's having an issue. We've looked at stuff like that as well. We're testing all kinds of ideas where we can do something with where we can also, maybe be able to do that. But we also have other systems that we've looked at for waste collection, which is great for our product because we don't use litter. It's a reusable plastic and natural material.
Oh, nice.
So it doesn't, and with a little additive in it so that when it gets into the sewer septic system, it can actually be biodegraded by
Okay.
microbes and
Right.
completely broken down. And I say completely broken down, it's completely broken down.
Wow.
And so one of the things was that it's very similar. If you go to a vet, and you need to get your cat's poop or pee tested,
Mm-hmm.
they'll give you this substance. It's made out of a vermiculite. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it's non-absorbent and it allows you to take the poop and pour the pee into something.
Okay.
We would be, since our machine can monitor everything, we've looked at ideas of building some collection of the materials, even if you do it, we can tell you to do it now. Your cat Susie used it. So we have lots of. I think that if you try to get too fancy and you try to make it too, like, if we tried to analyze and test that stuff, I'm not saying we would never do it, but it's so much effort and actually, would be inexpensive, and I don't think people would be willing to pay for that, but they would be willing to pay for something that collected it for you and then told you to go get it.
Right.
And that could be something that I wouldn't even have to really charge you for. It would be part of the next model kind of thing.
Right.
I'm not saying we're putting it in the next model.
Yeah, I got you.
It would be, it's something that is a feature that actually is very low hanging fruit for people to do, and it still provides that same service. But to start analyzing waste and doing that, that's best left to labs.
Yeah, gotcha. And one thing I wanted to ask you before we kind of tell our audience kind of where they can find this and learn more is the feedback you've received from users and your customers since the launch of this. What has been some of the most interesting things you've heard, or kind of surprising things that you've learned from either directly from them or from the data that you've been able to collect?
That's kind of my favorite question because, look, we have a self-washing cat box, and to the untrained eye, it looks like a toilet a little bit, and it's like, wow, and you see the shocked from people. Oh my God, they'll do anything crazy nowadays. And the reality of it is that it's not is it more convenient? Yeah, but that's not why we built it. It's just a smarter solution of dealing with waste, and waste has a lot of cat waste in particular. Can have a lot of specific issues that you can contamination that you can get involved with. It's not that it's poison or anything. It's not terrible, but it has issues, and you shouldn't necessarily be messing with it if you don't have to. Okay. So having a machine do all of that is great, but one of the things that the feedback's been, an amazing amount of people that change their lives. We're talking about as they get older, they don't want to carry cat litter, and they want a machine that actually handles it for them. And our cartridges and our granules, I can put on the table next to me here by my computer a year's supply, and it takes up as much space as a shoebox.
Yeah,
a year's supply of cat litters, I literally need several pallets.
Yep.
And that's what you're bringing in and out. And when you're older, you have the ability to have a product that actually not only is easy and everything's light, it also self-cleaning, and it's much easier on you. And we find people that are going through chemotherapy, HIV. And I'm not talking about like one-offs here. Shocking amount of people that tell us the same thing. They were able to keep their cats because of the CatGenie. It was life-changing. My mother, I bought one for my mother so she can keep her cats, and makes it so much easier. Handicapped people. The list goes on, and it's not. And like I said, it's not just one here, one there. It's a pretty sizable amount of people.
Sure. No, that's fantastic.
Pregnant mothers, all that stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the way you all are approaching it and the way you're thinking about it, and then you kind of coupled those things that you kind of set out to achieve with the smarter way to handle waste management, the reduction in the amount of cat litter that's needed, and then you kind of see what that leads to from a benefits perspective and a value perspective from the actual end user once it's out there being used. It seems like it's providing such a good thing for people to to be able to better manage and handle things that probably before were pretty difficult to do. I didn't really know much about it when I was younger because my parents took care of the cat. But looking back, I could understand how much of a pain some of that stuff can be, and how smart it is to be kind of going down the path that you all are going. And I'm sure the feedback you get, it just reinvigorates, kind of, and remotivates you to continue to build products like this that just make cat or pet owning more affordable, easy to use or easy to do, and take stress out where it's probably not needed.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I mean, some of our biggest fans, they sit there and say, I can't even believe that that everyone who has a cat doesn't have this. Now, I know it can't fit in every home and everything, but they're that passionate. They think it's crazy. I mean, we have
Right.
some, we have a few people that I can't really say their names, but because it's not fair. From celebrities to celebrity business people.
Uh-huh.
And a couple in particular, like, this is crazy. I'm going to go scream from the roof. They're a little nutty about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm happy because they have a following, and nothing better to have than really passionate people. But they just think it's crazy that people just, if you have a cat, you don't have a CatGenie, you shouldn't have a cat. They're a little over the top, but I'll love it. I'll take it any day of the week.
Absolutely. Now, for our audience out there listening and learning more about this now for the first time, potentially, or maybe been on the fence, deciding whether they want it, need it, kind of thing, where can they learn more? Where can they buy this? What do you recommend them to kind of check into?
Well, our website's probably the best location for it. We for many years we've sold other places, but we realized there was a lot of questions, like you said, and it's a different kind of idea of approach. You're talking about not using cat litter anymore, and anyone who's had a cat, what do you mean not using cat litter? So I recommend coming to catgenie.com because we have everything you would want there, and we never get that when you sell it in other venues. And so we'd always get them calling us up anyway and asking us questions or coming to our website. So we decided that we'd go direct to consumer. We do sell on Amazon as well,
Okay.
but most of the information they would want is never
Yeah.
going to be at Amazon.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate taking the time. Like I said,
Thank you.
one of our team members has one. She's been using it, I think, roughly since November, December, and says she really can't go back. And the goal of this series was not to just review and try to just showcase products and just brag about them. We wanted to tell kind of the behind the scenes story, the learnings, the interesting things that you've gone through to bring a smart product to market. And this just happens to be more consumer focused, and I think can relate to a lot of people out there. So we're very excited to kind of keep an eye on what's going on and comes out of your company over into the future, because the first product we've interacted with has been a big hit here internally. So
Great.
thanks again for your time, and hopefully have you back. We can talk further the next time we chat.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching that episode of All the Smart Things with Steven, the president of PetNovations, about their CatGenie AI product. Hope you found a lot of value in it. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated by us and our entire team. If you are interested in learning more about where to buy this product, learn more about the product itself, that information is in the description below. If you have a product that maybe your company has created that you'd like to be featured and showcased on this series, please reach out to me at ryan@iotforall.com. Love to talk more and figure out a way we can build content together. Other than that, if you have any products that may be interesting for us to try to go reach out and review just to kind of shed light on some stuff that maybe you use on your daily life, just throw it in the comments. We'd love to kind of check it out, and we'll dive into and maybe reach out to the company to see if we can have a product sent to us in order to review and build some content for you. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.